Welcome again to Ancient Tales for today. Now we've been following the story of the Hebrews, Shibbolairen, and they went to Egypt, IG, and they stayed there for many, many years. Now, a lot of things had happened. At one time, everything was just fine. Everything was wonderful. They had food, the king liked them, but then things got worse. They became slaves. Now, it's time to go. It's time to 该走的时间已经到了. Stay by for a time to go number 48.
Time to go. Finally, after all the conflict, the king of Egypt agrees to allow the Hebrews to leave. Egypt is in a mess after all the plagues. The whole country is weeping over the loss of the firstborn sons. How stubborn the king was, and what was the result? If he had agreed at the beginning, he could have spared his people much suffering. But he was proud and arrogant. The king thought he was a god himself. He had to be shown he was just a human being. So now it is time for the Hebrews to leave. In fact, the king tells them, "Get out! Leave us! Take all your people with you and your flocks and herds. Just get going as fast as possible." All the Egyptians agreed with the king. They wanted the Hebrews gone because they were afraid of what would happen to them. They thought they would all die if the Hebrews didn't leave. Interestingly, the king asked Moses and Aaron to bless him as they leave. The Hebrews carry everything they can with them. The Egyptians hand over silver and gold and clothes. They give the Hebrews whatever they want if they will leave immediately. A great number, maybe around 1 million, leave Egypt that very night. Others go with the Hebrews, for they have seen what happened and who won. They don't even have time to make bread properly, so they bake bread without yeast for the journey. Finally, after all those years of suffering, the Hebrews leave Egypt. They came centuries before as guests, but were eventually turned into slaves and were hated by the Egyptians. They had to be set free. Now they are walking to freedom. The journey to the promised land has begun. If you were there at the time, would you be walking with them or staying behind? What would you choose?
Finally, after all the conflict, 争斗, conflict. Now, what does it mean to be after all the conflict? 经过所有的争斗, the king of Egypt, 埃及王, agrees, okay, 同意, to allow the Hebrews to leave. Okay, he agrees to allow the Hebrews. What does it mean to allow? Allow 就让这个希伯来人离开. Egypt is a mess after all the plagues. 经过这么多灾难, Egypt is in a mess. Is in a mess. Is in a mess. What does it mean to be in a mess. It simply means that 满地都是 how can you say 混乱 okay Egypt is in a mess. Everything is 混乱乱七八糟等等 The whole country is weeping. 所有的国家都有这个哭泣 weeping, crying. Why are they crying? They are crying over the loss of their firstborn sons. Loss, 这个失掉啊，失去他们的长子。Okay, firstborn sons. The first son born in the family. How stubborn the king was. Have you ever been stubborn? 那这个王啊，实在是太顽固，多么顽固。And what was the result? What was the result? 结果呢？ If he had agreed in the beginning, of course, 开始的时候，如果他就同意让他们走 if he had agreed in the beginning, he would have spared his people much suffering. 他就会免去他的人民很多痛苦。But he didn't, because he was proud and arrogant. Proud, 骄傲. I remember that. But arrogant, 自大, arrogant. Proud, 骄傲, and arrogant. This was the king of Egypt. Going on. The king thought he was God himself. Actually, long time ago, kings thought that they were God, and everybody sort of worshiped them as God. 他认为自己是神. He had to be shown that he was just a human being. 他必须知道 shown. 他只不过是一个人啊。He had to be shown that he was just a human being. So now, it's time for the Hebrews to leave. 希伯来人该走的时候已经到了。In fact, the king tells them. In fact, 事实上 the king tells them, 就告诉他们 Actually, it's probably more like 命令他们 He says, get out, leave us. And you can imagine, 他是很有感触的 You know, his own son has died. Get out, leave us, 离开吧 Okay? 离开我们啊 Take all your people with you. 把你所有的人民跟你一起带走 And your flocks and herds. Okay? what is a flock and what is a herd? Well, if it's a flock of sheep, it's 羊群, Flocks, 牲畜, and herds, 这个羊群, 等等, okay? So, flocks and herds. 其实这个 flocks and herds 是一样，差不多是一样的意思啦, okay? Just get going as fast as possible. 尽可能快点走. All the Egyptians agreed with the king. Of course, all the Egyptians agreed with the king. They wanted the Hebrews gone. 就要他们离开啊, because they were afraid what would happen to them. 他们就开始害怕，到底下一次我们会发生什么事情? What would happen to them? Going on. They thought they would all die. 他们就想，说不定啊，我们都会死。And so they were afraid. Especially, 特别是这个希伯来人就不离开，他们就怕我们都会死。Interestingly, the king asks Moses to bless him as he lives. 很有趣的，这个埃及王啊，就请求 Moses and Aaron 那两位 to bless him. 要祝福他as they leave. 当他们走，请你们祝福他。Now, stay by for some light on our path. Now for some light on our path. Lena, we're going to look at a Bible text. We're going to look at Exodus 12, 40, and 41.
我们来看出埃及记的第12章的第40节和41节。
Okay, this is actually the story that we're talking about today. This is the actual record. 这个真正的是这个记载。Verse 40 says, Now the sojourn of the children of Israel who lived in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, on that very same day, it came to pass that all the armies of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt.
这里经文说，以色列人住在埃及共有430年，正满了430年的那一天，耶和华的军队都从埃及地出来了。
Okay, now, two things here. First one, I think, is on the very, it says self-same day, the very day they came out. Now, God's clock is different than our clock.
对啊，正满了430年的那一天，真的很奇妙啊。
Yeah.
430年，很多个代，很多个 generation。
Yeah.
人都忘记了，但是上帝记得。
对. And the Bible says that very day. You also had a question now in the second verse.
我刚刚呢一直在想看您的英文圣经哈，中文圣经是说到耶和华的军队，英文圣经也是这样说。其实这些人都是奴隶嘛，为什么他们变成了耶和华的军队呢？
Okay, God used many different 形容词 to describe his people. He calls them the armies, but they were not armies, they were slaves.
对。
Welcome back. Now we continue. The Hebrews carry everything they can with them. Of course, nowadays, 现代, nowadays we have big trucks, and we have boats and things. But in those days, they didn't have any of that. So the Hebrews, 这个希伯来人, they carry everything they can with them. 能够带的他们就带走. Okay, but again, they have to use their hands. Actually, they had some animals, so you could put some stuff on animals, and they probably had 马车 or 牛车等等. Okay, these types of chariots or carts, ox carts. Okay, the Egyptians hand over silver, gold, and clothes. Okay, the Egyptians are really quite happy to see them go, so they give them. They give them what? Gold and silver and gold and clothes. 也给他们衣服, good Egyptian clothes. They also give the Hebrews whatever they want if they will leave immediately. Of course. What do they want? They want them to get out of there. They want them to leave. And so they said, whatever you want, take it and go, go, go. We don't want you around here. Okay. They give the Hebrews whatever 他们想要的，他们就给了. Okay. If they will leave immediately. 但是你要快走啊. Going on. A great number. Of course, the word number, 数目字. But when you see a great number, it means 一大群, 一大堆. Okay? 一大群. Maybe around 1 million, 或许100万. Now that's a lot of people, right? Sure it is. It's a lot of people. They leave Egypt that very night. 就是那个晚上，他们就离开埃及. Others go with the Hebrews. Others go with the Hebrews. Now, these are not Shibbolarian, not Hebrews. They may be Egyptians. They say, whoa, I think I want to go with you guys. I want to go with you. For they have seen what has happened, and they have seen who won. 他们已经看到所发生的事情. They have seen what has happened, and they have also seen who won. Of course, the God of heaven won. He won. The gods of Egypt, they lost. So, 他们失败. So, finally, well, the next sentence should be, the Hebrews were so fast, so quick. I mean, it just suddenly, get out of here, go. They don't have time, 没有时间 to make bread properly. 好好做面包，正确的做properly 用正确的方法做面包. So they bake the bread. 他们还是要烤这个面包. They make the bread, but without yeast for the journey. 那就是说这个旅途中他们所吃的面包 是没有这个 yeast, 没有这个发酵粉。You know what yeast is? You put yeast in the bread, and the bread originally was like this, and then it becomes higher. There's a 发酵粉. Okay, they didn't put anything like that in the bread. So this was bread without yeast. Maybe we say kind of flat like a pancake or something like that. Okay. Finally, after all those years of suffering, 经过这么多年的痛苦, the Hebrews leave Egypt. Okay, years of suffering, 这么多年的痛苦, the Hebrews leave Egypt. They came centuries before, 这个好几个世代之前, they came as guests, 被这个埃及王欢迎做客人 guests 客人 but they were eventually turned into slaves. 终于最后他们就成为这个奴隶这个奴仆 So they were first guests, then they became slaves, and they were hated by the Egyptians. 这个埃及人就恨他们 Of course, they were afraid of them too. Why would they be afraid of them? Because there were so many of the Hebrews. So they said, whoa, we have to force them to be slaves. Going on. They had to be set free. 必须被释放 And now they were walking to freedom. Freedom, 现在走向自由 They were walking to freedom. The journey to the promised land. Okay, the journey, 这个旅途 Okay, to the promised land. What is the promised land? The promised land is 应许之地, the land that was promised. So the trip has begun. Now, if you were there at that time, would you be walking with them? 你会不会跟他们一起走? Or staying behind in Egypt? What would you choose? Now, let's look at a few words that you need to know. Okay, and now for some words you need to know. First one is stubborn.
顽固
Is that you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're not. Okay, stubborn is 顽固. Sometimes our children are stubborn for a while. In fact, we even say 2-year-old, 2岁的小孩子 we say the terrible twos. 可怕的
对，2岁的孩子比大人还要顽固。
Yeah, that's true. Or the next one is to spare something.
免去
Okay, 免去 to spare something. You could use this in many ways. But they were spared much suffering. 这免去他们的很多痛苦。
对
Okay, going on to another one. Properly.
，properly
Yeah, that's right.
这个是
Properly.
说到
正
正确的，对，正确的。
Okay.
因为我一直在思考这个发音不容易。
Yeah, 是 properly.
properly.
Yeah. You need to not be so fast with the last ly. But anyway, properly 正确的or proper 不用这个 ly, okay? Okay, and then maybe we look at one last one here. Centuries.
几个世纪，
几个世纪。
一个世纪是100年，对不对？
Right. One century and many centuries. Okay. 这个 how do you say? 世纪。
世纪，对。
Okay. Well, I hope I live to be a century old. I don't know about that. Okay, well, that's about all the time we have for words you need to know. So there you have it. We've looked at this interesting story. It was time to go. And so now they are on their journey. Well, this journey becomes a very, very interesting set of stories. 很多不同的故事. But in our next lesson, number 49, we're going to talk about crossing the sea on dry ground. 走过海. You mean you can walk on dry ground? No water? Not wet? You'll want to join us for the next lesson of Ancient Tales for today.
That's all for today, and thanks for watching. If you like Ancient Tales for Today, please visit atft.chinesehope.tv. You may also contact us by writing to ancienttalesfortoday@gmail.com. Again, that's ancienttalesfortoday@gmail.com. Tell your friends about Ancient Tales for Today. See you next time.